killing me?" I whispered, smiling through my teeth as I adjusted the strap of my black silk gown. The crowd was loud, laughing, clinking glasses, and dancing to the DJ's carefully curated playlist. Rose gold balloons hung from the arch near the cake. Everyone looked like a magazine cover.
Perfect.
But I didn't feel perfect.
Not tonight.
Not in this dress. Not in this house that used to be mine too. "Emily," my mom shouted across the room. "Come here, honey. We need pictures." I nodded, pushing through a few familiar faces, nodding at fake smiles. "Before we begin, drop a comment and tell us where are you from and from which city you're watching our videos? And after watching the whole video, don't forget to tell us what would you do in this situation? Be honest, tell me in the comments below. We read every comment. Let's begin." The engagement party was in full swing, and my sister, Madison, had made sure it looked expensive, like something she could shove in my face. That was her way. Everything had to be a statement. And tonight, her statement was, I won. The house, the guests, the diamonds, the smile. And me? I was just the forgotten older sister who married too young and left too soon. I felt someone gently touch my elbow. It was Eric, my husband. His brows were pulled low, and his mouth was tight. He leaned into my ear. "Don't eat anything." I blinked. "What?" His grip tightened slightly. "Don't eat anything here." "I mean it, Emily." My heart skipped. "What are you talking about?" Eric glanced around, eyes scanning the crowd like he was watching a crime scene unfold. Then he leaned in again. "She's here," he said quietly. "One name. Just one." And I knew. He didn't have to say it again. The sound of her name, even whispered, hit me like cold water down my spine. "Rachel." I took a step back, my breath hitching in my throat. "Wait, what? Here? Are you sure?" He nodded once. "I saw her talking to your dad in the hallway 5 minutes ago. She's not on the guest list, Emily. Someone brought her in. And she's wearing staff clothes." My pulse thundered. Rachel. The name that should have been buried with the past. The girl I thought we'd all forgotten. But clearly, someone hadn't. And I suddenly understood why he told me not to eat. Just 6 years ago, Rachel Porter was my best friend. We were inseparable until the night she vanished without warning. She disappeared after Madison's birthday party. And 2 weeks later, rumors started. About me. That I'd stolen Rachel's boyfriend. That I had replaced her. Then Rachel reappeared, sending threats from fake numbers. She said I took everything from her. She said she'd take it back. I looked around again, but now the celebration felt off, too polished, too rehearsed. Everyone was so focused on looking good, they didn't see the storm quietly walking among them. Eric pulled me into a corner, out of view. "I don't know what her plan is," he said low. "But if she's here, it's not by accident. And I don't trust the food. She could have done anything." "Who let her in?" "I don't know. But your sister was talking to someone earlier, sounded like a vendor." "Of course. Madison. She'd do anything to make my night uncomfortable. Even if she didn't know who Rachel was, she loved inviting chaos and calling it fun." I stepped away from Eric and walked slowly toward the buffet, not to eat, just to observe. A woman in a crisp white catering uniform was standing by the drinks. Her back was to me, but something in my gut twisted. She turned slightly, and my breath caught. It was her. 6 years older, face leaner, hair darker, but unmistakably Rachel. She looked right at me and smiled. Like we were old friends. Then she disappeared into the back. I ran my fingers over the edge of the champagne glass I hadn't touched. My hand was shaking, and I couldn't stop it. Eric leaned on the table beside me. "We should go." "No," I said quietly. "Not yet." "Emily, she's not just here to scare me, Eric. She's here to do something. And if she is, I need to know what it is." A server passed by with a tray of golden appetizers. My eyes followed the tray across the room, right into Madison's hands. She took one. Bit it. Laughed. My stomach dropped. "Eric," I said. "I think it's already started." "Madison just ate it," I whispered, my voice barely audible as the crowd laughed around us. Eric straightened instantly. You sure? I nodded slowly, the sight of my sister licking her fingers still fresh in my mind. Okay, he muttered, already pulling out his phone. I'm calling 911. Wait, I grabbed his hand.
No.
Not yet. Emily, are you serious? What if she... I need proof. If we call the police without knowing what she did, Rachel walks away clean. Again. His jaw clenched. And what if we wait too long? I didn't answer. Because deep down, I didn't know. I just knew this wasn't random. Not with Rachel. Not after what she took from me all those years ago. 6 years back, Rachel and I had planned to move to Chicago together. She'd gotten an internship, I had savings. We were going to chase our dreams. Then she ghosted me. No note. No call. No goodbye. Just gone. A week later, she messaged me from a blocked number. You stole him. You'll pay. I'm going to make sure you never eat in peace again. At first, I thought she meant heartbreak. But then my car brakes failed. Then my dog went missing. Then someone broke into my old apartment and left nothing but empty pill bottles in the sink. I told the police. They said I had no proof. I told my family. They said I was paranoid. And Rachel? She went silent.
Disappeared. Until now.
Eric was tense beside me. We need to move fast, Em. If there's something in the food. Let's go to the kitchen, I said, interrupting him. His eyes widened. What? She's not going to leave anything behind. But if she brought it in, maybe we catch her in the act. I stepped away before he could argue. I walked fast but calm, like someone who had to fix a hair emergency or grab a charger. In truth, I was walking toward the flames. The catering door was half shut. Music thumped behind us. Inside, I heard a few murmured voices, staff talking. But one voice was different. It was her. Rachel. I paused just outside the door. Eric caught up to me silently, his hand finding mine. Just enough to make them panic, she was saying, her voice sharp and low. Not to kill. I'm not a monster. You lace the shrimp? A male voice asked. A pause. I just needed her to remember me, Rachel said coldly. That's all. She forgot I exist. And now I'll be the last thing she tastes tonight. Eric moved, but I squeezed his hand hard. Not yet. Do they know you're here? The guy asked. Who cares? She scoffed. She's married to him now. She won. But I still want her to feel like prey. Just for once. I let go of Eric's hand and pushed open the door. Rachel was holding a tray, her gloved fingers tightening around the silver edges. The guy, another staff member, froze. Her eyes met mine. And for a second, she didn't flinch. She smiled. Emily. I was just thinking about you. Eric stepped in behind me, his phone recording from his pocket. I didn't blink. Why are you here? Rachel set down the tray slowly. To congratulate your sister, of course. Cut the crap. You tried to poison someone. Did I? Her tone was mocking, airy. That's a serious accusation. We heard everything, Eric said, his voice sharp. Every word. Rachel turned to him with a soft laugh. You think a recording will help you? You think anyone will believe the golden child was almost poisoned on her special night? She stepped closer, her face now inches from mine. You ruined my life, Emily. I didn't take him from you. He chose me. No, she hissed. You stole him. After everything we shared, after everything I gave you, you let him fall in love with you. And then you married him. Eric tensed beside me. He was never yours, I said slowly. You treated him like a backup plan. I didn't steal anything. You think that matters? Her voice was rising. You think facts matter when the world already chose you over me? When your family turned me away, when your mother said, you were never meant to be in our house? My breath caught. My mom said that? Rachel smiled, cruel and triumphant. You didn't know? Of course not. Your family made sure you were shielded from everything ugly. I stared at her, trying to reconcile the girl I once loved as a sister with this stranger in front of me. I wanted you to feel what I felt, she whispered.
Not death.
Just fear. Just a little payback. That's when the kitchen door slammed open again, and Madison walked in. Madison stood in the doorway, blinking between us, the smell of appetizers clinging to her sequin dress. What's going on? She asked, frowning. Rachel didn't miss a beat. She smiled sweetly, like a perfect guest. I was just catching up with your sister, she said, her tone smooth as silk. It's been a while. Madison looked confused, then annoyed. Who are you? I opened my mouth, but Rachel stepped forward first. Rachel Porter, Emily's old friend. She extended her hand like this was a polite reunion. Madison didn't take it. You're not on the guest list. Rachel tilted her head. No, but I helped one of the vendors who was short-staffed. A last-minute favor. A favor. Madison scoffed. You crashed my engagement. She laced the shrimp, I said flatly. Madison blinked again. What? Eric stepped up. We heard her. She's not here to celebrate. She admitted it. Rachel shrugged, looking unbothered. No one's sick. No one's dead. Just a little drama, right? That's what this family thrives on. Are you insane? Madison snapped. You could go to jail for this. Rachel's gaze hardened. Wouldn't be the first time someone in this family sent someone away. Eric pulled out his phone. I recorded the whole thing. That made Rachel flinch. You wouldn't, she said sharply. Oh, we would, I replied. The kitchen door opened again. This time, it was my father. What's going on in here? Everyone's asking where you went. He stopped cold when he saw Rachel. His face changed instantly. Dad, I said slowly, do you know her? He hesitated. Dad. Rachel stepped forward again, fire now in her voice. Tell her, Mr. Lawson. Tell your perfect daughter what you told me 6 years ago. About how I wasn't clean enough to marry into this family. About how I was trash. My heart dropped. You said that. I asked him. He didn't answer. He just looked down. And in that moment, I knew the truth. Rachel laughed once, bitter and loud. There it is. He never planned to tell you. None of them did. Rachel, I started. I was in love with him, Emily. I was in love. But your father made it clear. Either I walk away quietly or I'd regret it. And I did walk. But not before he told me I'd never be welcome at your wedding. That I'd never be one of you. Eric stepped protectively closer. You still don't get to poison people. I didn't poison anyone, Rachel spat. It was one tray. A scare. That's all. But the way you all react to me now, like I'm evil, it proves it. I never had a chance with any of you. Security stepped in behind her then. Someone must have called them. She didn't fight. She just looked at me one last time. You won, she said softly. But not because you deserved it. And then she let them lead her out. The room was silent when we returned. Madison looked shaken. My mother looked pale. And my father? He avoided my eyes. I didn't need to say anything. Because now I knew who they really were.
And Rachel?
She was right about one thing. They had never planned to tell me the truth. Back at the party, the music had stopped. Guests were murmuring, confused. Madison's fiancé was trying to get people to dance again, but the energy was gone. Something in the air had shifted. Eric squeezed my hand. You okay? I nodded, though I didn't feel okay. I felt betrayed. And not just by Rachel. I turned toward my parents. I need to talk to both of you.
Now.
They followed me into the hallway near the coat closet. Madison trailed behind, arms crossed. I want the truth, I said. All of it. My dad rubbed his temple. Emily, this isn't the time. Dad. My voice was sharp. Why did Rachel say those things? Why did you threaten her? My mom looked down, then cleared her throat. It was complicated. She wasn't stable. We thought she might hurt you. No, I said. She wasn't unstable. She was hurt. And you made it worse. My father's jaw tightened. She wasn't right for this family. What does that even mean? I snapped. Her family had a history, he said quietly. Her dad had been arrested. Her brother had a record. It wasn't personal. It wasn't personal? I laughed bitterly. You manipulated her out of my life like she was trash. She didn't belong, he muttered. Eric stepped forward. So you thought threatening her would make her disappear forever? She was obsessed, my dad shouted. You think we wanted to hurt her? We were protecting you. No, I said calmly. You were protecting your image. My mother finally spoke. We didn't know she'd come back. We thought she'd move on. Well, she didn't, I replied. And now this party, this entire family, is a mess because of it. Madison spoke up then, voice cold. Why didn't you tell me any of this? I invited vendors. I brought her in. My mom turned to her. You did what? I didn't know who she was. Madison shouted. I just thought she was some helper. She begged for a spot on the kitchen crew. I didn't care. I was stressed. Do you realize what could have happened? Eric snapped. You let a stranger into your event without checking anything. Madison rolled her eyes. Relax. No one died. No, I said slowly, but someone almost did. Madison's face changed. What? I looked directly at her. Have you checked on your fiancé lately? She blinked. What are you talking about? Where is he, Maddie? She glanced around, realizing he wasn't in sight. Her voice dropped. He was feeling sick earlier. Said he had a headache. My eyes locked with Eric's. The shrimp, I said. Madison ran. We found him slumped in the guest bedroom.
Sweaty. Pale.
Breathing, but barely. Eric called an ambulance. No hesitation this time. When the paramedics arrived, they said it looked like foodborne contamination. No one else had eaten the shrimp. Just him. As they wheeled him out, Madison stared in silence, hand over her mouth. She meant to scare me, I whispered. But someone else paid for it. 2 hours later, we sat at the hospital. The doctor came out and told us he'd be okay. But something else happened. Madison sat down next to me, face hollow. You know, she said quietly, you were always the strong one. I mocked you because I was jealous. I looked at her, shocked. She continued, I saw how you held things together. I wanted that. But instead, I pushed you away and kept trying to outshine you. There was no pride in her voice now. Just pain. I'm sorry, she whispered. And for the first time in years, I believed her. 3 days later, we sat in a quiet courtroom. Rachel was being formally charged, not just for the tainted food, but also for trespassing and endangerment. My statement, along with Eric's recording, sealed it. I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel vindicated. I just felt tired. As she was led away, she looked at me, no fire this time. Just eyes full of history and unfinished grief. You could have told me the truth, she said softly. I didn't know it myself, I replied. And that was true. Back home, things changed. Madison delayed the wedding. Her fiancé was still recovering, but he'd survive. They were quiet now, no more flashy posts, no more family group chats, showing off diamond rings. My parents? They tiptoed around me, like they weren't sure who I had become. And maybe neither was I, because something had shifted. For years, I let them define me, kept the peace, bit my tongue, smiled when I wanted to scream. But not anymore. I sat them down one evening, just the four of us. Eric stayed in the kitchen, letting me speak alone. I need you to hear me, I began. You taught me to hide things, to protect appearances. But I'm done. My father said nothing. My mother blinked fast, trying not to cry. You let Rachel walk away. You lied to me for years. And you justified it by saying it was to protect me. That's not love. That's control. My mother opened her mouth, but I raised a hand. I'm not saying this to hurt you. I'm saying this so I can heal. My voice didn't shake. I'll still be in your lives. But I won't pretend anymore. I won't protect your secrets. I won't make myself smaller to keep you comfortable. My dad looked down. My mom finally nodded. We were wrong, she said quietly. All of it. It wasn't everything, but it was a start. Later that night, I stood on the porch with Eric. You okay? He asked. I nodded slowly. For the first time in years. I think I'm becoming okay. He wrapped his arms around me. You were incredible through all of this, Em. You didn't just survive, you saw everything clearly, even when it hurt. I looked at the sky. Quiet.
Dark.
Wide open. Rachel tried to poison me, I whispered. But the real poison was in the lies. Eric kissed my forehead. And now, he asked. I smiled.
Now I live.
Loudly. Honestly. No more silence. No more masks. And as I watched the stars that night, I realized the most dangerous truths aren't the ones whispered at parties. They're the ones buried in families, passed down like heirlooms, hidden behind smiles. But I had